The ANC youth leadership is very unhappy with the performance of the party in the recent local government elections, and some members are already calling for the complete overhaul of the top leadership structure. The question is, how did a new 3 years of existence party, the EFF, outsmart a 104-year-old party that has dominated South African politics since 1994? My guest is former student leader and member of the ANC Youth League, Mcebo Dlamini. Mcebo, pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for having us.
And much appreciated.
Thank you.
Now daggers are drawn, knives are out, everybody is name-calling, criticizing and saying this one must go, this one must fall, and so on, and so it goes. Has the ANC lost the plot, do you think, now? And is it time for change of leadership? And should President Zuma be fired, do you think?
Well, thank you for having us. You know, it's trying times for everyone, as South Africans mostly, and members of the African National Congress. And, you know, to be even in such a platform to address, you know, we don't have words, we are speechless.
Yeah.
And probably I will start by sending condolences to our fallen hero yesterday, the councillor who passed away and the former speaker of which municipality, Susan.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's really difficult. But the reality of the matter, coming back to the subject here, it's been coming. We've been, you know, fighting with our backs on the wall for 2 decades now. The prime problem that we have, definitely, it's corruption, arrogance, patronage, factionalism in the ANC, cabalism in the ANC, and incompetency of deployees. So that has always been a problem, and we have always been raising these issues sharply to say, look, we have shifted our focus from the main objective, and it comes from 1994, we negotiated with the devil. That's where we lost it. And we never regained it from there as the African National Congress. The decline has always been there. Our people were excited, we were in power, but the question that was there and always been there is the ANC in power or in office? Who controls the means of production? Who is in charge? And it was white monopoly capital.
Yeah.
And we negotiated with the devil in the form of the NP. Now, they had plan B because they realized that the violence that they were using against black bodies didn't work. They came with a plan B, which was the DA, which the role of the DA was to promote free market. And the ANC fell for that trap to produce black middle class.
So you reckon that the ANC should not have produced black middle class. Is that what you're saying?
We didn't have plan B. When we negotiated with the devil, the devil had plan B, which was then to massage us and then play party politics and produce blacks that will mimic the masters.
Yeah. But now, this is where sometimes I lose the whole story. As I'm listening not only to you, but to other spokespersons when they explain. It's as if the ANC exists outside of South Africa, you see, because I said to one analyst, when you talk about the black middle class, as an example, most of so-called black middle class actually works for the government. It's government employees. It's the politicians themselves. It's the people who are in leadership positions of the ANC, their lifestyle, their incomes, and so forth. They themselves. So are you suggesting they were created by another party?
Well, like I'm saying to you, we had a plan as the African National Congress to say, let us create a black middle class, trying to balance the equation. But what happened there is that you had the white monopoly capital who has been dominating that space for a long time. You look at the professionals that we have produced, your pharmacists, your lawyers. Those professions have declined, they've degenerated. Pharmacists have degenerated to a level of being equivalent to a till, you know, because of branding professions. They are branded law firms, branded pharmacies, branded clinics. Then it collapsed the black middle class that we tried to produce. So this is an ideological problem. I am saying that what has happened now calls for us to go back and redefine the politics, the dynamics on the ground, and realign the African National Congress with the current politics. But now, then when we realign, the ANC must look at itself and say, where do I feature in the realignment?
Let's look at the ANC itself then, right? Internally, because you did mention certain things. You said arrogance, corruption, factionalism. And where are those things existing? Inside the ANC or out there in the streets of South Africa?
Well, you see, the ANC's decline or problems that we are facing today are twofold. They are internal and external. The external problems is that of paging of dissenting views within the movement inside, and gatekeeping of those who are already there. And when you speak to say, comrade, we are losing the plot. So it's like you are going to deprive people food, you know. So those are the issues, those are the internal problems where we rather defend an individual, not the organization. So those were the problems, the internal problems that we have to deal with. Firstly, I am concerned about ideology.
I understand
defining
that.
ourselves
Yes.
as a movement to say what's our ideology.
Sure.
The external issues that we have was to the ANC. For me, I would say we went aloof. We lost touch with reality on the ground.
Yeah.
We distanced ourselves from the masses of our people, because being in government and being a mass mobilization movement, we failed to balance the two. Branches started struggling because you find that the chairperson of the branch is also a mayor, is running government. So branches started struggling. So those were the issues that we should go back and deal with. And we're working so hard on it. We have accepted defeat, painful as it might be. But like we are saying, look, we have lost the battle. We have not lost the war. Now, we have lost certain wards and municipalities to the DA before, and we won them again.
But you see, where I want you to help me understand is you've lost the wards, the battle, and some municipalities. In the lead up to the elections, did you, as Mcebo, have a sense that ANC was going to lose anyways some of the influence it has and the control of the metros that it had, especially here in Gauteng? Did you have that sense?
Well, I mean, no one goes to war to say I'm going to lose the war.
But sometimes you can tell that, you know, the way things are going.
But we knew that we had problems.
Yeah.
We had problems from national level. You know, the issues, there's a vacuum of leadership in the African National Congress. We can't run away from that. There is a problem, and as I was explaining the issue of the realignment, the realignment then brings certain questions that says, what do we do with the corruption? What do we do with job creation? What do we do with crime, which still resonates with the blacks? So now it then says, have people given up on the ANC as progressive policies, or people are angry with lack of leadership? So it gives us two questions.
Yes.
What it brings us to the issue.
So you are a member of the ANC Youth League, right?
Yes.
And
in good standing.
In good standing.
Yes.
Now, because you are in good standing, so it gives you all the privilege and right, I suppose, to speak freely and say exactly what you think. How does the ANC then reorganize itself? The Secretary General, Mr. Gwede Mantashe, said that it's going to reflect and so on. And upon reflection, after a few days of the NEC, the general statement was, we take collective responsibility, and that's it. What do you think, as a member of the Youth League in good standing?
Well, look, like I said, that the problem is with leadership itself. Our people on the ground, when we were doing your door-to-door, they pointed at the problems. We knew exactly every ANC member and an ANC supporter, because ANC members are 1 million and the people who vote ANC are 14 million. So we must then not focus on our members only, focus on society. Because I feel that we have lost touch, like I said, with society and reality. You say, no, we talk to branches, but we don't talk to communities, and then to the people that vote us, who said the president must go home and rest. We thank him for everything that he has done to the country, but we feel that he must go home and rest and new blood must take over. But you know, it was a bitter pill to take, but people have always been clear on what they want.
You go along with that view or you don't?
As the Youth League, we are very clear. We are calling for a special conference. We have called for a special conference, and we are very clear, and we are still, as I'm sitting here, I'm saying we need a special conference, not just of the ANC, but of all the structures.
What do you want with that? What should happen at that special conference?
All the leagues.
Yeah.
The downfall or the limping of the African National Congress, of the giant movement, is not just because of the current president having his own issues here and there and issues of corruption. It is an ineffective and incompetency of COSATU. We created vacuum. The battles of COSATU, of NUMSA, and paging of comrades in COSATU, and micromanaging politics of workers by the current leadership has effect, and these are consequences of it now. The issues of the Women's League itself, not capturing the masses of our mothers and speaking to the challenges of poor women and urban women is a crisis. The ANC Youth League itself, at national level, I'm sorry, but like, it doesn't speak to issues of young people. It doesn't inspire confidence. We haven't seen them. We haven't seen them mobilize, because the role of the Youth League is to mobilize young people to rally behind policies and the banner of the African National Congress. They are too quiet. I don't know whether they are old, maybe. I don't know, but something needs to be done. If we call for a special conference, all the leagues must go there. It shouldn't just be
How soon do you think the special conference must be held?
Of what?
The same one that you were for renewal of all the leagues coming together, of election of a new leadership. When do you think that should be?
We are in August now.
Yeah.
The soonest, first of them must sit before December. Because you need 2 months to collect data and everything, because the ANC is democratic. You can't just say hack. You know, there are processes.
Yeah, I understood. But you mean it should happen in 2016 still?
It should, yes, if we are serious. If we are serious, I mean, you can't be bitten by a snake here and say, no, I will go tomorrow to take medication of the venom. We have to react and show remorse to our people and really genuinely apologize for everything that has happened in the country. From Andri Statane to Marikana, as ANC people, we have to apologize to the people, humbly apologize. You know, personally, I'm remorseful, and quite a number of the members of the ANC, we know where we went wrong.
Sure.
You know, we really, speak to our people. And I would say we need a second Kliptown.
But now, Mcebo, the talk about the conference being brought forward and so on is that some members of the ANC and even a faction or so seemingly want the new president to replace current President Jacob Zuma to be Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma. What's your view of that replacement?
Well, in as much as we do call for a special conference, but we are very skeptical and very vigilant about those who are calling for it, the intentions and the motives behind it. If it's not that of factionalism and those of tribalism, in that if we are saying that President Zuma's time has elapsed in the African National Congress, and we appreciate everything that he has done, but who are we replacing him with? We can't then replace the Jacob Zuma with his wife or his ex-wife, because we are saying that if we are replacing him because of corruption and the Guptas and everything that South Africans has raised. We are saying that corruption is continuing because you are replacing me with me. Because if me and my wife are one thing, me and my girlfriend are one thing. So we must be very careful on those issues. The debate of a woman president, it's fine, it's allowed, but make it broad. We have quite a number of capable women. Why are we narrowing it to one person? If we are clear and we are sure, we shouldn't factionalize this thing. Open it for comrades like Naledi Pondo, open it for Tim Modise, open it for Fraser Mlokedi. We have quite a number of capable women in the ANC. But if we are saying, let's replace Zuma, it's like transformation and decolonization. We are saying we are transforming. When you transform, it's different from decolonizing. We are saying we are dismantling the status quo. We are dismantling the NEC and the top 6 by a special conference. We don't want to replace a husband with a wife. Then it won't assist us. We will struggle come 2019. I thought we have learned. And if we haven't learned, we will do that mistake. It's either Cyril goes all the way as part of the culture of the African National Congress. And he must man up as a deputy president because currently he hasn't inspired confidence in any of us. He's too quiet. The country needs leadership, and young people in South Africa in general needs leadership to guide it, to say, where is South Africa going in 10 years, 20 years, 5 years? Where are we going with the education system, with an unemployment of the youth, with development, with empowerment and education? Those are the 4 main important issues. But with the issue of the special conference, we don't want anything that will remind us of Jacob Zuma.
Mcebo, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For talking to us.
Thank you very much.
That's Mcebo Dlamini, member of the ANC Youth League in good standing. Yes. You must remember that. Right?
Lily's Leaf Farm Branch.
Lily's Leaf Farm Branch. Much appreciated. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
And he's been our guest here. So calling for remorse on the part of the ANC and more importantly, a second Klip Town for that matter, and an early conference that should happen within the next 3 months if everything is and can be made possible. Would like to hear your views. You can talk to us via Twitter at Tim Modise. What do you think of Mcebo Dlamini's views on the program?